All right, hi everybody. Thank you guys for coming. Imagine this. You've worked for 4 years or more, juggling classes and jobs. Excuse me. You've earned your degree, and now you're finally ready to start your adult life. But you're shackled by tens of thousands of dollars of student loan debt. This isn't just a hypothetical. Many Americans live this daily. Student loan debt in the United States is becoming a national crisis. Over 43 million people owe a combined total of $1.7 trillion. That's more than credit card debt and auto loan debt. This isn't just a statistic. This affects people that we know, our friends, families, classmates, even ourselves. There are people who don't believe in loan forgiveness for various reasons. Some people think that they worked hard and made sacrifices to pay off their student loans, so everyone else should be able to do that. Some people believe that they don't want their taxes to go towards paying off someone else's debt, and even more people believe that that if you agree to pay a debt, then you should be financially responsible. And even though I can understand and empathize with those points of views, student loan debt is more complex than that. As a student myself who has experience dealing with student loans that I'm still paying on 20 years later, I've experienced the emotional weight and financial pressure that comes from this type of debt firsthand. I've also spent time researching both sides of the debate, and today I want to present why forgiving student loans isn't just possible, it's necessary. In this speech, I'll show you how student loan debt harms our economy, damages mental health, and why forgiveness would benefit us all. I'll also show you 2 realistic funding options. So first, let's look at the economic impact. Student loan debt is stopping people from living fully. Young adults are delaying buying homes, starting families, and even contributing to their retirement. According to the Federal Reserve, over 20% of borrowers are behind on their payments. These aren't just bad financial decisions, they're consequences of a system that promised opportunity but instead delivered lifelong debt. It also holds back innovation. Imagine all the small businesses that never got started because young entrepreneurs were too afraid to take that financial risk. With fewer startups and reduced consumer spending, the entire economy suffers. And let's not forget how this debt disproportionately affects low income and minority students. Black college students, for instance, owe an average of $25,000 more after 4 years after graduation. Without relief, the racial wealth gap only widens. But this issue goes beyond dollars and cents. It touches our emotional and mental well-being. A 2021 survey by Student Loan Planner revealed that 1 in 14 borrowers had considered suicide due to their debt. That's heartbreaking. Debt-related anxiety leads to sleepless nights, strained relationships, and depression. The guilt and shame of not being able to catch up follows people beyond their 30s, 40s, and 50s. The American Psychological Association has recognized student debt as a major mental health issue. Forgiveness isn't just financial, it's psychological healing. When people are mentally healthier, they're more productive, more creative, and more present in their families and communities. Some people say forgiveness sounds nice, but how do we pay for it? Well, let me share 2 realistic funding options. First, we could implement a modest wealth tax. For example, Senator Elizabeth Warren proposed a 2% tax on fortunes 50 million. This alone could generate hundreds of billions of dollars over a decade, just 2%. Second, we could reallocate a small portion of the US military budget. The Pentagon receives $850 billion annually. So if we just redirected a tiny fraction of that without compromising national security, of course, we could fund educational programs where people don't need to take out student loans, or for the student loan forgiveness program. These aren't fantasy ideas. They're backed by economists, policymakers, and even bipartisan coalitions. Student loan forgiveness is an investment in people, an investment in fairness, and in the economy. So let's review. Student loan debt holds back economic progress. It devastates mental health, and it reinforces inequality. But forgiveness gives us the chance to change things, to turn things around. It's not a handout, it's a reset button. We must ask ourselves, do we want to live in a country where education is a ladder or a trap? Forgiving student loan debt won't fix every problem, but it will open the door to a better future for millions of Americans, and in doing so, it will lift all of us. Let's choose opportunity, let's choose compassion, let's choose progress. Thank you. Any questions?
Upon your research in student loan debt, has anyone ever discussed going to the sports teams and leagues to tax their leagues and all the money that they receive?
From the research I received, or
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen that as an option, but that actually sounds like a really good option or possibility. Another one that I did research that I didn't include was taxing investments. Like just a small tax on investments. It wouldn't affect most Americans, but it would affect the higher investors.